This talk was about the food. We are thinking in the luxury, in to have more, and that is not sustainable. We need to use what we have. It's all what you need to be happy and to be comfortable.
This is our composting facility, our organic waste recycling facility. It's a great way for cows to become more sustainable and getting closer to a zero waste cows.
Resilience is when life hits you really hard, that you get back up.
Resilience is bouncing back. It's about never give up and keep moving forward.
Welcome. I'm here with Majid Al Fayyadh, CEO of King Faisal Specialist Hospital and Research Centre. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us about your talk today.
Oh, I'm excited about it. Resilience is a virtue, and it is an important one that we see it day in and day out. Who of us has not been through an ordeal or difficulties? Yet we bounce back and find the way to come back. And the healthcare is no exception to that as well. Throughout my career as a cardiologist, as a pediatric cardiologist, I came through heartwarming stories of how people bounce back and rise to the challenge and come back even stronger. And this is what I would like to share with the audience and with the people of KAUST, how I saw it from my line of work as a cardiologist, as a pediatrician, as an individual. I'm sure each and every one of us, when you look around, either in yourself or your family members or closed one or people that you know, seen an example. So I would like to share my point of view from healthcare. But that's not the only thing, because I've seen also the healthcare resilience with all the events that happened in the last 2 years and how I wouldn't call it resurrected. I mean, we weren't in ashes when it comes to healthcare, but we had tons of difficulties in the healthcare in Saudi and across the world, by the way. Yet the healthcare sector rose to the challenge and delivered a very good product and made people, at the end of the day, for the most part, safe. As we cruise through this pandemic, which is now still has not ended, but I hope that we see the tail end of it.
Me too.
I'm excited, intrigued. I learned a lot actually, collecting my thoughts and writing this presentation. I myself have benefited more than I expected.
Well, that sounds very interesting and look forward to listening to that. I also wanted to ask you, what do you think of the future of medical research in Saudi Arabia?
There is a transformation in the country that has been started 4 years ago. And it's basically touching each and every aspect of our life. I now do things that I wasn't able to do 4 years ago. I renew my license, lying down in my bed at the end of my day. I have access to many things. We see life has changed in our, from entertainment to many, many things. So healthcare is no exception. And we realize that we have trained healthcare workers for the last 30 or 40 years, and we have an excellent working force. Yet, our patients are unsatisfied. We spend more than many countries. We spend on our healthcare more than some countries' GDP. Wow. And yet, our institutions are not competing with the best. And one major gap that we found is in the research and innovation. So directed by the effort of the transformation and by our leadership, we feel that we should focus as a country. And the interest is there, the resources is there, the patients, the population, every ingredient is there. And now we have the political will as well. So I am seeing a strong push toward doing research, utilizing the data and the resources that we have here in Saudi to make meaningful research that changes the science and produce new products to the society as a whole, global society as a whole. So in a nutshell, there is, how do I see it? I see a lot of push and determination to make meaningful research and bridge the gap between us and the rest of the developed world when it comes to research and innovation. And I am confident that this effort will bear fruit, that we will see advancement of research in the region. My visit here is, this is the 4th time I visit KAUST. I'm pleased as ever by the magnificent facility and the people that work here and study here. But my visit here is also to bridge the gap and promote research and biotechnology, across that barrier and produce meaningful research to the world. So I see the future is bright, based on the resources, based on the abilities, based on the people, and now the North Star that we have, the political determination and push toward improving research. So I think it is great.
It sounds exciting. Can you tell us a bit more what you were saying before about the resiliency of healthcare systems in Saudi and worldwide during the pandemic?
I'm going to sort of, I don't want to steal my own thunder, and but I'll tell you, when we realized that the sort of, when we were asked as healthcare leaders to transform healthcare back in 2017, we looked at the status of healthcare, and it left many things to be desired. So the determination was to change that. And in the process of the design and sort of starting implementation, we were hit by COVID. So we were not in the best shape when it comes to facilities, availability of beds, procurement process, training, all of the areas that one would need to equip the sector with to fight such a pandemic, we were lacking. So when the COVID started, something magical happened. And I saw it at every level. I saw it at my own household. I saw it in my in the hospital at King Faisal. I saw it in the healthcare sector. I saw it in the government. And I was honored to be part of national committees and national effort to combat this pandemic. And then more so, I saw it also internationally, which is the whole globe had one goal. And once you have a North Star, once you have a common goal, people get aligned. If you start dissolving the barriers, we were working in silos. These silos have disappeared. We work towards common goal. Communication is paramount, and it was facilitated. One strategy, clear line of communication, and quick decision making. Those three made a huge difference. And we were, in a way, one of the blessings of COVID, if there are any, and there are many actually, is to develop the framework by which we combated COVID. And now that we are hopefully at the tail end of it, hopefully, this structure is there to stay. And people always be reminded, you know, when COVID hit, we forgot all of these differences. Let's go back to the same way. Yeah. Let's do it the same way we did COVID. I know we do it at the hospital. Right now, every project where there are egos and there are concerns and there are priorities, we remind ourselves, you remember when we met back in March of 2020, when everybody was scared and we had a common goal. Nobody was saying, what's in it for me? We were all thinking one goal. How can we protect our hospital, our patients, our friends, our employees, and ourselves? And people produced them. I think it's one of the blessings of COVID. Not that it is, there are good things and bad things, and this is one of the things that we really get out of it. Another thing also is the fact that we realize that we can do a lot, and not having to do as many meetings, not having to have as many presence. We started telework, and we found that our employees work better at home. They are more efficient. They work 24/7. They're always online, and they do it happily. And when we measured productivity before and after, we found that they are productive more when they are more comfortable. A young mother with her kids at home, she has to feed them, so she can feed them and go back to doing work. She can actually attend a meeting while she is watching her children, and same for our mayor employees. So everybody has benefited from that if we structure it the right way.
It's a really interesting way to see it, and there are positives out of COVID in terms of the resilience of the systems. Thank you so much for your time. We're really looking forward to your speech later on today.
Pleasure.
Thank you.